And you've just heard My Brain, the current single from the folk drama, in my opinion, one of the best bands to emerge in 2024. And I'm delighted to be joined now by Aaron and Violeta, who are the folk drama. Hello, both.
Hello.
Hi.
So you can decide between you who's going to answer this first. The first question is, what can you tell us about My Brain that we've just heard?
It's a new song, and we recorded it down in Manchester with Johnny Alexis, who's Paul Heaton's co-writer and guitar player. So we've been recording in his house, his studio, and it was pretty quick. We just, well, it was a dead simple song kind of thing. And yeah, we did that in about, well, we did it in a day, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or half a day. Yeah.
And what's the title, My Brain? I mean, is it as it says on the tin, really? It's thinking about your own.
Well, yeah, but I hated the title for quite a while. I was trying to think of like different things for like a good week, and I couldn't come up with anything, so we just kept it. But yeah.
And
Yeah,
sorry,
I don't know why I didn't like the title. It just didn't sit well with me, but I got used to it.
and you've released 3 singles so far, I think. Is that right? 3 singles?
Yeah, we've been doing one a month on the 17th of each month since September, October, and November, which we're on now.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got like a Christmas one that Violeta wrote coming out next month, which we are doing the video for just now. Or thinking about the video. It's
not set in stone.
Yeah, it's not coming that easy this time.
Very busy.
No.
So are these 3? Are they part of something bigger? Are they, you know, are you aiming towards something longer?
Yeah, it'll be an EP. So we'll do a 6-track EP. We were just thinking about releasing 4 and then releasing the EP, having a launch and stuff, and then we're straight on to making the album, I believe. So yeah, we'll be busy, and we're still in talks for. I think we're going to open for some people and stuff, and then yeah. So we've got a kind of busy year ahead. Well, busy half year, anyway.
Yeah. Just talk a little bit about the story behind folk drama. How did you guys kind of come about as a band, so to speak?
I don't know. Do you want to?
Yeah. Well, we met during lockdown, and we just started. I guess everybody was not working at the time, so we started playing together, sort of writing tunes, and we did these live streams, and it got quite a bit of attention. So, yeah.
Yeah, continued from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had we ended up, you know, the singer Ryan Adams.
Yes,
He ended up posting about us quite a bit. And we thought, well, since we've kind of in the video together, we may as well start the band.
We started a band together, yeah.
And the name, the folk drama, was actually...
That came later.
I think it was the name of a song.
Oh.
Which I forget the song, but we just kept, they just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
So originally you kind of started making music together to do something in lockdown to kind of, you know, and then kind of went from there.
Yeah, exactly that.
That's exactly. It was very organic. Yeah.
Yeah, just a part of the days, and so we started the Songwriters Hub, and it kind of got a lot of followers. Like a lot of kind of pages did it, you know, during lockdown.
Yeah.
And it was just something to do once a week, and then that kind of. I think a few other bands evolved from the Songwriters Hub as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's where we started, and then
When did you decide that you were going to take this further and actually record stuff and get it out? Because it's quite a leap to think, yeah, no, we're going to put the music out there.
Well, we got randomly got offered a couple of kind of support gigs that were quite big. Well, for us, you know, got offered the James Walsh, you know, Star Sailor support. Yep. We got offered Chris Helm, Seahorses singer, and then we just thought, you know what, it'd be really nice to be able to have something to show people, you know, online or whatever, you know, on Spotify and stuff. So that's when we thought about recording, and then 1 song, 2 songs turned into 3 and then 4, and then yeah, so it's just been building on like that, kind of snowballing quite slowly, really. But yeah, and then now we've got like got about 3 albums.
We've
or-
got about 3
Yeah,
albums.
so we need to like sift through it.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
I was going to ask, you know, are you going to be thinking about what comes next? But it sounds like you've got plenty kind of ready to go.
We've got so many.
yeah.
We need to decide like what's going to fit, and then like we've got new ones. We're always making new music too.
Mhm.
So
I guess it's a good problem to have all these, you know, songs that you really rate.
Yeah, Alistair, it doesn't mean they're all good though.
I know.
So we'll have to like get other people's opinions and stuff, you know, or like see how they work live and stuff.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
getting asked to do these, as you say, pretty high profile supports, did that come through doing the Songwriters Hub and doing stuff online, or
Yeah,
yeah,
was just that,
that's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, we ended up well, Violeta was drawing.
Oh, I was doing the artwork for the Songwriters Hub, and Ryan Adams saw the artwork too, and he's a bit of an artist, so we shared that.
Yeah, and then the music, and then
And just
I think James did the same.
Yeah.
Adage of Boy did the same.
I drew a few. I would draw an artist of each.
So we snuck in
Yeah.
the back door almost with Violeta's art. And
Oh, that's brilliant.
we kind of forced our band on them after that.
And how do you work together? Is it a kind of process that you always go through, or is it kind of organic and different every time?
See, I've had a couple albums before, so I've always just written by myself.
Mhm.
But I think that's how we first started going into it, and then you were kind of like playing the lyrics and that. But then Violeta started writing her own songs
Mhm.
behind my back, you know.
Mhm. That's not true. I always wrote songs. I just never, I never got them out there.
Yeah, you had quite a few.
Yeah.
certainly, but-
I started writing probably when I was about 19, songwriting.
Yeah.
So it's been a long journey.
But yeah, so there was, but we haven't used a lot like from
Mhm.
you know previous. But we kind of like we've been creating new stuff, you know.
Was it kind of important then that the new stuff was as the folk drama? It wasn't necessarily stuff you'd worked on previously individually, but you were coming and working together.
Yes.
Yeah, that was kind of.
Definitely.
I don't know if it was important or not. It was never really discussed. We just kind of thought. I don't know if the oldest, like I had a couple of songs lying about, so did you. I don't know if they kind of worked
there are
together.
ideas that kind of were floating around, I think.
Yeah,
Kind of just put them together, I guess, without even thinking.
yeah, just changed them quite a bit.
So it sounds as though actually it comes quite naturally in terms of how you work.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it has done so far.
very much.
I'm sure like there will be a point where we're gonna, you know, it's not as easy as it has been, but
You've already got the difficult second album written, so you know what can be.
yeah, we do have a jotter full of songs,
I
but
guess the battle is which one gets in,
yeah,
right?
that's when the arguments start.
That's when the arguments really start.
And what about kind of who sings what? Because we heard My Brain and you know, Aaron, you're singing on it, and then later we're going to hear What's Become of You with Violeta singing on it. So is that just dependent on the song or who's written it? How does that work?
A bit of both. I think I wrote My Brain. I don't know how did I write that?
You
one?
wrote that one.
Yeah, mostly. I
Mhm.
think you put a few lyrics and stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, it does kind of go like whoever's kind of. What's Become of You? We both wrote that together,
Mhm.
but you just sang it anyway.
Yeah.
It wasn't really discussed, you know. I think Violeta's a better singer, to be honest with you. But yeah, just kind of whoever has the idea of the melody, I suppose.
Yeah.
First, or whoever's voice suits it best, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, Violeta sings more on the EP than I do, I think.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is true. It wasn't intentional. It just the songs worked out that
Yeah,
way.
it just works a little bit better.
Yeah, just whoever kind of works for a particular song, that's the way it goes. Well, that brings me on to your influences. Kind of what are your influences? Are the influences you share, or do you bring different things?
We share quite a bit, I think.
Mhm.
I like, I kind of like the obvious ones. I'm a big Beatles fanatic. And,
Me too.
yeah, and I like Neil Young a lot. And, you know, the kind of obvious and older ones. I like. I'm a big fan of Ron Sexsmith.
Yeah.
You know, and I was lucky enough to see him a few weeks ago in Edinburgh.
He liked the What's Become of You.
Oh yeah, he liked it. Yeah, retweeted it.
He retweeted that one.
So I'm a big fan of his. What else? I'm trying to think of kind of newer stuff. There's a lot going on in Glasgow right now. Joy Hotel are great. I know Scott, and their band's great. I really enjoyed watching them live. I don't know, what about you?
I grew up listening to a lot of Motown and like soul and all that kind of thing too. You know? Growing up in LA, like that's really popular.
Who's the one you like a lot? Who's always on?
Is it what, jazz?
No.
Which one?
It's the guy who was always drunk. What's his name?
Okay, drunk. Harry Nelson.
Yeah, that's
Harry Nelson. Yeah.
Was always drunk. I was trying to work out who that was. Oh yeah,
there's loads of them.
the famous Lost Weekend. That's interesting, and it's interesting you mentioned the Joy Hotel because again, a lot of their music, I think, has got a real kind of 70s, you know, almost. I mean, you mentioned LA, kind of Haight-Ashbury, Californian 70s feel to it, and I think that's what I think of sometimes when I listen to your music.
Yeah, I think we're heavily influenced by the 70s.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like a lot of that stuff. Graham Parsons, I like a lot. I started listening to him again.
Love him. Love the Eagles.
Yeah.
Love them.
I'm a big Kinks fan as well, actually. I like Ray Davies. I believe it or not, I think he's one of the most underrated songwriters.
Oh, he's incredible, yeah.
But you don't hear many people talk about him that much. It's quite weird saying that because the Kinks are so massive, but you don't really. He never really makes people's top 5 songwriters on that.
No, which is interesting, as you say. I think he's almost, might be wrong with this, but a songwriter. You know, I know a lot of musicians really rate the Kinks and often kind of mention them in that way.
Yeah, totally.
Again, you know, you've said it quite casually, but to get the attention of Ryan Adams and Ron Sexsmith, you know, these are particularly, you know, American, again, great songwriters.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, they're my kind of heroes growing up, you know. Yeah, definitely like what I listened to growing up. But I was just surprised, you know. But I don't know, I was well chuffed about it.
Me too. Yeah.
But we try not to talk about it all the time, you know.
It's definitely a boost.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned playing live. Is that something that you really enjoy doing? Because obviously, if you've started lockdown where you just can't play live, at least not to an audience, is that something that you've kind of grown to really enjoy?
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
Yeah, for me that was a transition. From live streams to in person.
All right, yeah, you got really nervous in the beginning, didn't you?
Yeah, I get a bit shy. No one could ever tell, but I'm like trembling inside.
Yeah, take a shot or something.
Yeah, you have to maybe drink a little bit, but not too much.
That's a fine balance. You don't want to go the full Harry Nilsson.
Exactly.
Full right. I actually quit drinking 2 months ago.
Aaron stopped drinking,
I got bored of it, you know.
Yeah.
So it is a bit different when you're on stage and you kind of, the nerves do kick in, but they go away after a few songs.
And what I found is that even if you're feeling nervous, usually people can't tell at all. You know, you think, I've certainly found that myself. And you played McCool's, is that right? I know you kindly invited me along and I couldn't make it. How was that?
That was good. That was, we were opening for Everybody Says Hi, which is, or Everyone Says Hi, sorry, which is it was a guy from the Kaiser Chiefs. I believe it was the drummer and the songwriter of the Kaiser Chiefs. So, and that's a band I've not heard in a long time. So it was interesting hearing some of the Kaiser Chiefs songs getting played.
Oh, okay.
It was a good gig.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
It was good.
Yeah, it was kind of last minute, that one. He messaged, I think it was the day before.
It was pretty much the day before, yeah.
Do you want to open? we obviously bit his hand off for it, so it was good.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. Again, I heard them talking about that album on national radio just the day before I got your email saying that you were playing it. So, you know, again, quite high profile. And McCool's back room, as it would have been, as I call it, that's a cracking venue. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter if you're drunk on stage. Usually the audience are all...
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed that venue. I like that one a lot. You know, I like the high stage. And you're it's kind of awkward. Everyone's looking up at you, you're kind of looking down. But that was a really fun night.
Yeah. So we've spoken that you've got lots of music written and that there's an EP coming up. And have you got any other plans? Any other plans for live dates, for instance?
Live dates, we're trying to sort them out just now. I was thinking we'd do a few more kind of openers kind of thing.
But after the New Year and stuff.
Yeah, and then we've got a bit of recording, so we'll probably play down Manchester and Liverpool. Yeah, it's kind of, we've not really, it will be sorted before January, but there's nothing on the books just now, gig wise, but there will be. We're certainly going to have an EP launch.
Great.
We'll definitely have an EP launch, and that'll probably be early February. Again, not sure where, but it'll be in Glasgow. Well,
as soon as you know, let me know, and I'll share it with our listeners and help spread the word.
Yeah,
and in the meantime, you've got a new single, as you say, on the 17th of December.
Yeah, it's like a Christmas kind of song, almost.
It sounds very Christmas.
Violeta wrote it. It's called Angel. So, and it's a nice song. I'll send you it. It's kind of I think it sounds kind of Beach Boys kind of inspired.
Beach Boys, yeah. A bit light, you know, happy and sunny. Even though it's winter, but
perfect for Glasgow in a December.
Exactly.
We need some of your Californian vibes, definitely.
Yeah, I think definitely you get them through the song. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the song a lot. So yeah, hopefully people like it. I think it's kind of catchy and
yeah, it was a ukulele song. Yeah, and
we got that off.
Yeah, I took the lead on the guitar. I don't play guitar, so.
But it's kind of Christmassy because it's got the xylophone and the bells on it.
Bells, yeah.
Well, when it's out, I'll play it on the show, and I look forward to doing that. But in the meantime, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having us. It's been great.
And this is the folk drama and What's Become of You.